the one thing that I always say, right, or always ask rather, when something goes wrong is like, yo, just tell me what you need. Like, identify what you need and then tell me what you need, and then I can tell you where I can meet you. Because sometimes I can provide it, and maybe sometimes I can't. Maybe I'll be in my feelings too much to where I can't provide what you need right now. But I'll let you know that too, and be able to say like, nah, you know what? I'm triggered. I'm in my feelings about this. I just need to sit with it. I just need a minute. I'm gonna get off the phone. I'm gonna talk to you later. And we do that with each other. But I think we have to start as women really creating more of a space for men to feel safe enough with us, to trust us with whatever the truth is, without being worried that we're gonna trip and we're gonna fucking flip out, and and I'm still working on that too, because I'm a very reactionary person.
I mean, I just had this conversation too. I really don't think that we're in a space to where men give us enough what's the benefit of the doubt, I guess?
Yeah.
Where we can handle the truth.
Right.
Also, I think that there's just literally these blurred lines among communication, among what men owe us in a relationship, what we owe them. The Game was trending not only on Twitter, but he made a post to his Instagram story, and he said, "Only women, children, and dogs are loved unconditionally. A man is only loved under the condition that he provides something."
I mean, I don't agree with that, but I mean, I don't agree with that.
I think that realistically is the problem even in dating now.
I think the only unconditional love that comes to a woman is from a child. So, and even then, I still think it's conditional.
Yeah, but I was going to say, this is the problem I think with dating now, is that men literally feel as though the only way for them to show up is money. But it's also the hang up in where they feel as though now I don't know who really loves me because they're only here for the money. But yet they're almost, in their mind, they're trained, again, let's blame fucking patriarchy, but they're conditioned to actually think that they can only show up financially. And that's all that we need as women. And so if you're showing up with bills paid, gifts, trips, and all these things financially, a lot of times you feel like you don't have to show up in all the other ways. The emotional way,
right.
The physical way,
right.
Being there. The other fucking four, what is it? Signs of, what's the love language?
Yeah.
The love languages. They literally feel as though as long as I provide and show up monetary with maybe the gifts and being there in that capacity, I don't have to show up any of the other ways. And that's false. As a woman, we do need a lot more than just a roof over our head, especially considering a lot of women now make their own fucking money. We put our own roofs over our heads now. We don't need you to necessarily show up and buy us bags or pay our bills anymore in the way that they needed prior to the 70s and shit prior to the 80s.
Yeah, but you know what sucks is the fact that a lot of these women who can pay all their bills and all those things, they're not asking for all the other stuff as loudly as they're asking for the money.
What do you mean?
So like the women that are asking for the Birkins and the trips and all of that shit, even though they can do it themselves, the women that are asking for that, they're not as loudly asking for the affection and as loudly saying, hey, I'm an emotionally needy person. This is what I need. I need you to meet me here as well. You could do all this other shit, but I need this first. Most women are not saying that. Most women are leading with, well, if you can do the money part, then you can provide, then you can work on the other shit. If you could pay bills, you don't have to pay my bills, but as long as we start where you can,
as long as you start there,
then at least I know that'll qualify you to then give me the other things.
Oh yeah, that's a problem.
And women set that stage for that to be the case, and that's why men then end up confused about the role that they're expected to play because. Okay, well, you don't want me to provide because you got your own. Heard you. I'm gonna still do it anyway because that's just what men do. But it's not gonna be as appreciated as something else that I'm not even trained to do, as something else I'm not even fluent in doing. So now you've got unreasonable. That's when we get accused then of having unreasonable expectations because we're asking men to perform in a way that they've never been asked to perform, and we're expecting them to do it well. When the one thing that we have expected them to do this whole time, they may be able to do, excellently, and that be the only thing. And I think for some women, like I think about even all of like the Saweeties and the city girls and all that shit, they're talking about only being with men to make a certain amount of money that provide. None of these women are talking about being in love. So until we get to a place as women, especially as artists, because these women are very influential and they work really hard and they do have their own. So they don't really need a man for any of the shit that they asking for. But most of women outside of, you know, in the entertainment industry they're not asking for love. They're not even looking for love. I can't even think of a song or a lyric that has love in it. Everybody's talking about money for men and for women. Men don't want no broke bitches either. So now you only want to deal with women with money. But now the women with money who have focused on being the providers in their own households are emotionally a little bit stunted. Now we have attachment issues because now our focus has been on how do we provide for ourselves because the men ain't gonna do it. So I'm not even gonna be worried about the emotions. I'm gonna just immerse myself in work.
Well, it's crazy that you even bring that part up because Nivea sat down with Candy.
Yep.
And I think that's
segue. Look, you see my girl.
See, this is why
she needs the outline. This is why she needs the outline. Okay, my bitch got bullet points.
Bro, I
get my girl fucked up.
It goes one right into the other, and literally as you're speaking that, if y'all don't know, Nivea recently sat down with Candy, and can I get Candy's what is the name of Candy's segment that she does? It's on her YouTube channel.
Yeah, it's on Candy Online. Hold on. I think I had it too.
Hold on. Scroll up. Oh, On That Note.
On That Note.
So Candy Burris' new show, On That Note, she sat down with Nivea, and Nivea spoke about this exact thing. Amongst so many other things, the trauma and abuse that she has endured as an adolescent and teenager in the industry is heartbreaking. But she actually revealed that she stopped her career of doing music because Lil Wayne, y'all know Lil Wayne, persuaded her to move to New Orleans with her and just let him take care of her.
Right.
In doing so, she said that he moved her into an apartment claiming that, oh, I've never lived in an apartment. I want to see what that's like. Only because he actually moved Toya into his home. And during her finding out about Toya, she was like, I can't do this. Asked to move back to Atlanta. Moved back to Atlanta with nothing and moved in with her sister. And Wayne did help her, she claims, with like 7 months of rent. But she had to crawl back to her label and say, hey, okay, I guess I will make music for y'all since I still have this deal that I have to perform in. And it's crazy because in my 20s, me and all of my friends had tricks to some degree. And I remember one of my roommates at the time had a man who came in and was like, oh my God, y'all are living in the Bronx. Let me move you to the city. You deserve to move better. Our rent in the Bronx at the time was like $1,600. We split that.
Amazing.
This man asked to move her into a beautiful, was like, I got this building. He was like a developer, had a building, but it was like $3,000 a month. And she was just like, listen, I can't trust that you're just going to move me in and I'm going to be secure. And $3,000 a month is not something realistically I can afford on my own. And we had a lot of conversations where men would offer for cars, apartments, all of these things. And at the drop of the dime, if you don't want to deal with me, I'm now left with something that realistically I may not be able to maintain. And I think that hearing her say that she even gave up her whole career, there's so many women that do this in order to be a wife or stay-at-home mom, or when they meet a man that makes a certain amount of money, they just promise the world and say, hey, now you don't have to worry about anything. However, this is also where when we reach the divorce and niggas are like, nah, you ain't help him make this money. It's just like, bro, there's a lot of situations where men of power and men with money literally want to be able to have their wives when and where they want them, when and where they want them, period. Yeah. And so the conversation now leading to, and I want to speak to even the women listening who are entrepreneurs, who are looking to create their own, to really think about what they would be giving up in the long term regarding their careers, regarding their businesses, regarding even their jobs and careers. Yes, there's a difference. But the idea of giving up on the trajectory of your own life to literally sit back and let someone live theirs is heartbreaking. And if you guys haven't been able to listen to it, it's a real trigger warning. Yeah, Candy did not give a trigger warning.
Yeah.
There is rape, there is molestation, there is pedophilia, there is a lot of things that Nivea speaks on that definitely deserved a trigger warning, but also anyone looking to get into the industry, you hear both of them kind of go into, what they experienced early on in their careers.